The Kentucky Post, putting Northern Kentucky first, where on Wednesday you can read the Kentucky Post Extra Edition. The Kentucky Post, people read the classifieds. Phone 421-6300 today. Richard Skinner and Doug Martin back from Super Bowl in Erlanger, ready now for our Miller Lite Stars men's championship match between Rick Carroll and Mike Cefaratti. So let's go to our lanes right now. And there you see Mike Cefaratti on your left and Rick Carroll on your right. And Rick Carroll back to defend his championship from a week ago that we saw him down at Dixie Lanes. And although this young man's been bowling for a year and a half, his average quickly on the rise, and you can see why right there.
Yeah, he throws a nice ball for just bowling that short a period of time, so that will show you what you can do if you get out and practice and work on your game. And as we saw him get a light hit there and carry.
And Mike Cefaratti, as you can see, has changed some equipment here in this match. He's gone to the urethane ball, and it works well for him, Doug.
Yeah, he should have probably been throwing that the first match. Of course, he won here regardless, but the other ball is a polyester plastic ball. It doesn't, a little harder surface, doesn't hook quite as much, as we saw him get a lot of light hits last time. So he decided in between games to try the urethane ball, which does grab the lane more and hooks more on the back end. And let's see how he does here with it.
Well, it served him well on his first two pitches. Back-to-back strikes to start the match for Cefaratti.
Well, that ball also will hits the pins a little harder. As you see, it came in light again and just blew him out of there, where on the same type of hit last game with the other ball, it wasn't carrying that 7 out.
So now Carroll, who comes in with a 160 average, picks up 40 pins in handicap, so he's getting 17 pins in this match. And up jumps a split for him here in the second frame.
Yeah, tough break there. He pulled that shot, which a lot of bowlers here, we see it on replay. It just went right through the head, cut through the heart of the pins, the head pin, left the 6, 7, 10 standing. It's going to have to go cross lane, hit flush on the 10 pin, just nip the 6 on the right side and throw it into the 7. See if he can do it.
Well, he's going to give it a run.
Well, he gave it a shot, but he didn't got a little bit too much of the 6 pin and didn't get the angle on it to get the 7. So
Rick Carroll qualified with scores of 211, 197, and 210 for a 618 scratch. And as we said, he's been bowling for just a year and a half, and is really one of those bowlers on the rise. And bangs one home, so he doesn't let that split affect him mentally. He comes back and is real solid there in the third frame.
Here we see it on replay. See the 9 pins going and the 10 pins on its way out of there. Got good extension on that time. Got it out on the lane, past the foul line real well. Had a lot of fingers in that ball.
Cefaratti looking for a 3-bagger, and he knew it as soon as he threw it.
I think he likes the change in equipment there he made. He's pounding that pocket with this ball now.
Here you can see Mike Cefaratti. Again, a lot of these shots today courtesy of our camera operators, John Stevens, Phil Racine, Mel Whitehead, and Bill Rolfus. And of course, this produced by our executive producer, Ted Bushelman, assistant producer, Tim Eversole, and the direction by Mike Nichols, and the freeze frame today by Jay Schumacher, and graphics provided by Donna Levinson. And there you see a split that time on not a bad hit for Cefaratti.
Well, he did have a good hit that time. Didn't quite have the fingers in the ball. The ball wasn't rolling quite as strong, and consequently didn't drive through to get that 8, and then got a bad break on the 10. So when you get both at the same time, you got problems.
Well, Carroll, who opened up in the second frame, now finds himself right back into this match. He had fallen behind by 13 pins, but if he can double up right here, he'll take the lead here in this men's championship, looking for his second straight championship as he goes here at Super Bowl in Erlanger. And I got a nice break that time, almost left another split. Very tight that time, Doug.
Yeah, he came in real tight with that one. Got a break on that 9 pin. Had the 4-9 standing.
You can see right there, even with the mark, we've got ourselves just a 1-pin match. Cefaratti would be on top.
Should be an easy pin to convert here. Picks it up.
So Carroll now has cut the match down to just 1 pin, so we got ourselves a dogfight here as we move into the 5th frame of our men's championship. And I'm sure as it gets later and later in this match, both bowlers are going to start thinking about that $250 first prize today.
Yeah, it's probably in the back of their mind, although they should not be thinking about it. You just need to concentrate on making every shot good shot.
And another solid shot for Carroll. And again, 2 times he gets tapped there with the 10-pin and the 8.
There we see on replay the ball is deflected way to the right. And we see the 5-pin going out and to the left of the 8, didn't drive through to get the 8, and then the 6 went around the 10, and consequently you got an 8-10, which is almost impossible to make.
Well, you get tapped once, it's bad enough, but you get tapped twice, and that's double trouble, and that's exactly what happened to Carroll, and he just kind of lost his composure a little bit there and fires it into the channel.
Yeah, he might need that pin at the end of the game. You've got to keep that pin count up. That 1 pin could translate into a win or a loss at the end of the game.
And Cefaratti answers with a big one. Well, he's been solid on all 5 shots so far, Doug. The 1 split he had back in the 4th frame, but that change in equipment, no doubt, has helped him here in this championship match.
Yes, it sure has, and I think it's built his confidence here as well. He knows he can hit the pocket with this ball and hit it with some authority. You just can't let that 8-10 he left last time on lane 7. Just forget about that. It's over, and keep pounding the pocket.
And a little snug there, and with a little break, he might have even tripped that one out. He's been real solid here in this championship match.
Here we see on replay the 2 pins going around the 4. Threw a nice ball at time. Was a little heavy. Now, I think he probably was thinking about that 8-10 again. He wanted to jam the pocket and make sure he didn't leave that again, and consequently came just a hair high.
So Mike Cefaratti opens up a 15-pin lead on Rick Carroll, and Carroll, you can see the concentration working on his face. He knows the importance of this shot here. Frame 6, lane 8, our men's championship match of the Miller Lite Stars of TV Bowling. Big shot for Carroll.
A little bit light on that one. As we see here again on replay, the 5-pin, as you can see, just got hit by the ball. The 5 is heading to the 7, takes the 4, but it did not get the 7 out. We had some excitement here on this pair last week, and the King of Bowling was televised here on 7 and 8. And Rich Kalfas, who is the current king on that show, rolled a 299 last week, and was
absolutely buried the last shot.
His 12th shot was there on lane 8 and left that same pin, the 7 pin, unfortunately. Bowled a whale of a game.
There you can see Cefaratti with the 15-pin lead, both bowlers working on a spare, as you can see in the 6th frame. And that time, Carroll, very solid on that shot.
Carroll's got some rooters in the back as well. One of his cohorts was saying, "Come on," to the ball. And Mike comes a little bit high on that one again. About the same shot as he had on lane 7, and leaves the 4 again. But he's leaving himself easy spares to make, and that's the key. And as they say, just keep making your spares and strikes will come.
And no problem for Cefaratti right there. Here you can see our tournament director, Bill Murphy, on your right, and on your left is Jim Green from the Greater Cincinnati Bowling Association. And Bill's been absent for the last 2 weeks, and he says he'd like to thank Otis Ketron, who subbed for him for the past 2 weeks here as a tournament director. And really, Otis did a fantastic job of running the tournaments the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, Bill's been with the BPA and various tournaments that he's run through the years, and does a great job for us.
And here comes Mike Cefaratti once again.
Well, we've got a very interesting close match here as we see on replay. Mike's strike there, he blew all 10 pins in the pit.
A chance for Carroll here to cut the match down to 4 pins with a double. Big shot here for him. And another light shot. It looked like that time a little more ball speed, and it kind of grabbed that oil and really didn't hook up for him.
Yeah, that's true. And it did come light, and as we see, leaves the 2-4-5. He needs to have this, bring back this spare. And unfortunately, he picks the 5 off, and he's buried himself in a hole now.
Well, now Carroll, as he moves into the 9th frame, the best he can do is 220, and right now Mike Cefaratti working at a 258 clip. Well, Carroll's got that left-hand lane, lane 7, down pat. He's really kind of struggled on that right-hand lane, lane number 8.
Yeah, and I was impressed with when you miss a spare like that, you've just got to put it in the past, forget about it, get up on the next lane, and make your shot. Now, he did exactly that. That was one of his best shots of the match there in the 7th on lane 7.
Now Cefaratti up on lane 8, and very tight, but bangs it home. I thought that one was going to finish awful quick for him, but a big double here in the 9th frame for Mike Cefaratti.
Yeah, that was a big shot for him. He's pumped up now. He may have a $250 spent already.
Well, if he gets this one right here, he's more than welcome to it, because he's just about going to lock up this championship. Looking for a 3-bagger. First ball of the 10th frame. And the solid 10 stays for him, and a kind of a smirk on his face as he turns around and walks back.
Well, that was a weak 10, as it's called. The 6-pin just laid in the gutter there.
There you can see it, really a big lead for Cefaratti there, Doug. 37 pins, and if he can mark right here, he'll lock Rick Carroll out of this championship match.
So we see Mike go cross lane for the 10. And got away from him, went in the gutter.
Well, he'll finish with 225, a 202 scratch, and the best Carroll can do is 220. So Rick Carroll rather, is all but locked out of this men's championship. But let's see if he can at least make it a little bit interesting here in this 10th frame with 3 in a row. And this is the lane he struggled on, lane 8. Well, crosses over to the wrong side, the Brooklyn side, but gets away with one.
Well, that gives him a double. When he at the foul line, you could tell he wasn't happy with that ball at all. He kind of looked down at the floor in disgust, and he knew he'd pulled it real bad. But fortunately, he pulled it just enough to hit on the Brooklyn side and got a break and got the strike for a double.
And really, this is the kind of bowler you see right here in Rick Carroll, who has been bowling for just a year and a half. We've alluded to that, and carries a 160 average. But this is the type of bowler we look for in this program, the improving bowler who's on his way up. And boy, he's just got great-looking mechanics, Doug.
Yeah, he sure does. I'm real impressed with him for bowling, as short a time as he has. And I would say with some practice and some work, he's going to be one of the best, could be one of the best in the area.
Very smooth as he goes across to try to get the 7-pin. Is all academic as he misses it. Our men's champion here in week number 4 from Erlanger. As you can see, our scorekeeper Jim Shanks racking it up for us. It's Mike Cefaratti defeating Rick Carroll 225 to 208. We'll be back with the Pepsi U-Stars in just one moment.